Taped from New Jersey, it's the SNL Nerds, the show where two comics from New Jersey nerd out about Saturday Night Live. I'm your co-host, Darren Patterson.
And I am your honorary nerd of this episode, Joanna Maharaj.
What? You're not John Trumbull. Did I misdial the number?
He's fine. Don't worry about him. He's being fed and hydrated. He's fine.
Yes, listeners, for those in the know, or maybe not in the know, John Trumbull will not be on this episode. He's out in the wild. He's on vacation. You know, he's doing a myriad of things. He's a man of intrigue and many hats. So on this episode, we have a friend of the show, friend in real life, friend of the Non-Pro family, Joanna Maharaj. Joe, how are you?
Hi, Ken.
Hi, Jojo. Wave.
Wave.
Yeah. That's. We'll get into it, but on today's episode, we're hitting you up with a bonus episode. We're talking about the cultural phenomenon that is Barbie, the movie, which is hands down the movie of the summer. If not the movie of the year,
Is it too soon to say that? I think it's a fair assumption to say that.
Yeah, because this movie just came out like a wrecking ball. This movie came out a week ago on July 21st, 2023. Written by Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach, her husband, directed by Greta Gerwig. Had a budget of between 128 and 145 mil. It's made to date over $500 million.
And that is all that pink paint itself.
Oh my god! I think it's like the highest grossing movie for a female director, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It's definitely the highest opening for Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling.
Yes.
I mean, this movie. It's really something.
Movie.
Yeah, and it's something else, yeah.
It was everything I hoped for and I didn't know I wanted.
I would say that too. Yeah. I would say that too. No, go ahead.
It was definitely the most anticipated movie of the year.
I was gonna tap into that because when I first heard about this movie, was years ago when Amy Schumer was attached to it, and even back then I was like,
right,
okay, that's interesting.
Amy Schumer, and then Anne Hathaway became attached to it as well.
Yeah, and Hathaway got attached to it, and then later on we found out that it was going to be Margot. I never know how to name. It's her last name, Robbie or Robbie. I still don't know.
I think it's Robbie.
Okay, so Margot Robbie was attached. And I was like, that seems about right. But then it was when Greta Gerwig got attached. That's when I was like, huh?
Uh-huh.
Because, as we all know, Greta Gerwig is famous for her movies Lady Bird and Little Women from 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, if you know Greta Gerwig, she kind of comes from the art house indie film world.
Yes.
So it's not, it's not strange to have somebody from that world direct a big budget blockbuster movie. Ang Lee directed The Hulk. So, but still, like to hear Greta Gerwig be attached to a movie about a toy, the Barbie movie, like when I first heard that, I was like, what is that going to be?
That yes.
Definitely. Like what were your thoughts when you first heard that, Perry?
I was just like, okay. Well, first thing I thought is Saoirse Ronan going to be in it.
Of course.
They have a very good relationship, so I was expecting a cameo from her at some point, but I didn't know. Was Barbie going to be like? Was Barbie going to just like kind of be angry Barbie? Was she going to be? Was she going to be like, kind of privileged Barbie? We didn't know what Barbie we were getting.
Yeah, very much so. And then we kind of got a glimpse of that in the first trailer, which is kind of now become like this iconic. I remember when the first trailer dropped. That's when like the buzz really started. Like when we first
Yeah.
saw, which was the opening of the movie, where it's a take on the 2001: A Space Odyssey, Stanley
Oh,
Kubrick's
that
you
was
know
so brilliant.
yeah, and it's like all these girls playing with baby dolls in the
In
dirt,
in dull,
and
dingy colors,
yes, done dull, dingy, drab colored, and then you see this huge
pouring earth
monolith.
tones.
Yes, sepia, sepia tones.
Or
Yeah, and then
terracotta.
but yeah, and then we see Barbie as this huge monolith, and like the little girl staring at her like oh wow, this is like a big deal because in the movie, as the narrator states, we're going to spoil a little bit. We'll try to keep it not super
Yeah.
spoilery, but we'll
Well, if you
spoil a few
saw that
things here.
trailer, I mean, if you saw the trailer, you know what it is. That's the dialogue from it, so it's not too much of a
Oh,
spoiler.
yeah, I guess you're right. But yeah, because like there was in the narrator played by Helen Mirren was saying
Yes,
that yeah, no, they're putting Helen Mirren in this baby.
I was
How
like
about
the
that?
queen. All right.
Yes, yes. And yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But yeah, Helen Mirren was saying how in the beginning there were dolls for girls, but they were all dolls of baby dolls. And
Right.
like I think she even threw a quick little line in there about how like it is fun to sort of play a mother, but it kind of gets tiring after a while. Ask your
It
mothers.
does. Ask your
Yeah,
mom.
what's yeah. I mean, there's also a theme of mothers and daughters throughout this movie, but we'll get there.
Oh,
We'll get there.
it's so good. It's so
It
good.
is. And but yeah, like Barbie was a bit of a game changer. I know she came out in 1959, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
she did.
Yeah, and like she was like kind of the first kind of real woman doll, and like she really changed the game.
She
And like
did.
she did, and like yeah, when that trailer dropped, people kind of were like, "Oh wow, this is not what I thought the movie would be." I mean,
Right.
maybe I'm projecting, but that's definitely how I felt. Like whatever preconceived notions I had of what a Barbie movie would be, that trailer kind of told me that it wasn't going to be that.
hmm
Yeah,
I
like
wasn't sure
and
what to expect when I saw the trailer because I was kind of like finding something like maybe light and fluffy and rom commy ish.
yeah, exactly. And then the next trailer came out where it has the now iconic shot of Barbie walking in high heels and her stepping out of her high heel shoes,
Yes.
but her feet still being in that
Yes.
position of a high
Yeah.
heels.
The
Like
arched
I
heel. The
yes,
arched foot. Yes.
exactly. Like that shook the core of the internet, if I'm not mistaken. And but yeah, but then it kind of start the trailer kind of started off being what you'd think a Barbie film would be, just light and fluffy, and then it's them having a dance party, and then out of nowhere, Barbie says, "Hey, any of you guys ever think about death?"
Like, you
And
guys
then,
think about dying? Record scratch. Like,
yeah,
what? Like, what you
like
talking about,
what?
Barbie?
Yeah, and I think that at that point too, I was like, "Oh, okay, so this isn't gonna be what I thought it was," but I'm still
Mm-mm.
not quite sure what it is going to be. But it's definitely not what I thought it was going to be. I will say
And
that.
it's a great trailer because it makes you want to see it. Even if you
Yeah,
aren't a fan of Barbie, you're like, what is this about?
yeah, exactly. And I think that really, like, I mean, as good as this movie is, like, spoiler, I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. But as good as this movie is, I will say, like, the marketing team really helped push it to become like,
Kudos, like snaps all around
yeah,
to this
like
marketing team.
yeah, like the marketing team deserves raises, gold medals, trophy statues, key to the
Whatever,
city. Yeah,
key to Barbie Land, their own dream houses,
yeah, their own dream houses, edible arrangements. Like, give them everything because they
their
really,
their own
mm,
silver Corvettes
yes, their own
as
horses. We'll say
horses.
horses.
Dallas was Barbie's horse.
Oh wow, oh that's I should have asked that up top. Like, were you a big Barbie girl in your Barbie world?
I was. I like to think I still am.
Oh,
I do. I have if you ever came over to my house during the holidays, you'll notice under my tree, I have my mom, even though I was still in high school, we were, just at the mall shopping one day and I saw a holiday Barbie. And even though I was a senior in high school, I was like, oh, she's so
Oh,
pretty. And my mom got it for me for that Christmas.
oh, that's so sweet.
And it up until up until in college, and then unfortunately my mom, she's no longer with us, but up until like
Mm.
maybe the last two Christmases I had with her, I got a Barbie for Christmas.
Oh, that's lovely.
So I
That's
put them under the tree and I call them the Barbie Army, and I believe that
um,
they protect the presents under
I
my
can.
tree.
Okay, that's. Thank you for your service, Barbie Army. We we salute you here
We
on the SNL
salute you.
Nerds.
There you go. And I love my Barbie Army. I love my
Okay.
Barbies.
Wow. So,
So
yeah, so this
yes.
movie was just made for you then. I
God,
mean,
it was. It was. It was. It was. It was made for me. I loved it so much. I had the Barbie Corvette. I had Dallas. I had the Barbie kitchen, and everything smelled like vanilla. I had
ooh,
Crystal Shine Barbie. I had Malibu Barbie. I had which I had I forgot what the other Barbies that I had. I had the kissing Barbie like for Valentine's Day. I think it's loving you Barbie. I had
oh
I had
wow.
Chrissy. I had Barbie's friend. I had one Ken.
Oh,
And
just the one.
just the one.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
I had
So,
Skipper. I had Skipper.
Skipper.
I
Yeah,
love
Skipper was part of
Skipper.
this movie too. Yeah, like I will say that the attention to detail in this movie to include like every other variation of Barbie and Ken and Midge and
And
Alan.
Alan! Alan!
They put an Alan in this movie
Played perfectly by Michael Cera.
by Michael
So
Cera. Like,
perfect.
hey,
Scott
everybody, I'm
Pilgrim.
Alan. Yes.
Scott Pilgrim
Oh,
did it again.
don't get me started. Stop. Scott Pilgrim is that should have been like a blockbuster hit movie. That movie's
Oh,
fantastic.
such a good movie.
Oh my god. And woof. But all right, well, we're talking about Barbie now. Talking about Barbie.
Yes,
Focus.
we are. We are. Focus, focus.
Okay. But yeah, like I mean, I think the PR team definitely deserves their kudos because it it is weird. I won't say weird, but it is interesting how they kind of did this thing where they because it came out the same day as Oppenheimer,
Yeah.
a very different movie
Very
than
different
Barbie.
movie.
They
Yes.
somehow tried to like they kind of merged the two movies and like kind of made it a big thing because I think
Yeah.
one thing a lot of movies coming out now are kind of being wary of is that like not a lot of people are going to movies to movie theaters anymore. Like if a movie comes
No.
out, yeah, a lot of times people are like, oh, I'll wait till it comes out on Netflix, or I'll wait till it's streaming. It's not a big deal. So I don't know, like the marketing folks somehow managed to avoid that by making the Oppenheimer release and the Barbie release like an event, like a must see event. Like
Yes.
like they made it a thing and they made it trending and like it became like a really big event, like to the point where people were like, I have to see this movie or else I'll be out of the loop. Like I've never like the
Yeah.
way people were coming out to see Barbie dressed all in pink. Like
Yes.
I don't remember I've seen anything like that since maybe Endgame, maybe.
Yeah. Hashtag Barbiecore.
Yeah, it was
Because
pretty
again,
crazy.
yeah, again to go back to that marketing, like we've been wearing the Barbie pink for over a year now.
Wow,
I forgot the
has it been over?
Pantone color, but yeah, like since
Okay.
last summer, the pink has been arriving. Because even if you watch White Lotus, Valentina, the manager, she's wearing a Barbie pink suit, like when the guests arrive.
Oh
Because
wow.
that's one of the first things I noticed. I was like, oh, she got her Barbie core suit happening.
Oh, okay.
And
I could.
yeah, and I
Yeah. No,
love
it's
that. I love that it actually there's like some camaraderie back in the world because last Friday, my best friend and I we went to the Barbie Cafe on Fulton
hmm
Street,
ooh.
and yes, it
Do
was
tell.
so. Oh, it's so much fun. There's a lot. It's very Instagrammable. You can. There's a giant box. You can Barbie box. You can sit and pose in, which I did several times, and
Oh,
there's wonderful. The food's good. I thought the food was going to be just okay because it's more like a pop up, and you're really here to take the pictures. I think the food was amazing. Our bartender treated us really well. I got a Barbie French lavender, a French
Wow.
75. Oh my God. Like, it was delicious. And we had little edible flowers as garnish.
Right.
It
Yeah.
was,
No, living that Barbie life.
and we went opening day, so we went last Friday. So just walking there and you're seeing other women in pink, it's kind of like, and just to say to a total stranger, "Hi Barbie," and they would say, "Hi Barbie." Like, in even one guy, he had a pink shirt on, but he was looking at my friend and I as we go. So we said, "Hi Ken."
And you do the hand wave, like the
Yeah,
funny wristy hand wave.
yeah, like, "Hi Ken," and he like
Yeah.
smiled, and it's been really nice. Someone said it's like pink SantaCon, the whole Barbie thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is real because I mean, I'll let the listeners in on a little secret. We're recording this on a Saturday afternoon, and I mean, we are originally scheduled to record a little bit later in the afternoon because I was going to watch the movie today, maybe like around 11 o'clock or so.
Yeah,
Like, so I figured, oh, it's the second weekend this movie's been out. 11 o'clock is pretty early. Shouldn't have trouble at all getting tickets. So I go online, do a little research on my local theater. It's not totally sold out at 11 a.m. on a Saturday, but it was
it's pretty
pretty damn
crowded.
close. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty damn close. And like as I looked later in the day, I was like, oh, it's almost sold out for that time too. Almost sold out for that time. So I ended up watching the movie 9:30 this morning, and it's yeah, where there was a good amount of seats. But yeah, like I mean, it is real. Like the second
yeah.
weekend is usually when the movie
It kind of
slows down a bit.
wades out. Yeah, I was supposed to see it earlier this week. I ended up having to go by myself yesterday, and I was like, I don't have a Barbie to go with me. But
Hmm.
I was gonna go see it a couple of days before, and there was a kind of miscommunication with the times, and the showing that we thought we were going to end up going to, there are only 3 seats together. I was going to go with 2 other Barbies, and there was the only 3 seats together was the second row, and I was like, no, no, no.
Oh no,
This Barbie got old lady neck now, so I can't be like
you
looking
don't
at
want to
it
be.
like that.
Yeah, you don't be
No,
craning your head up to see.
especially for that opening scene. Now, knowing what
Ooh,
I know, I was like,
yeah,
thank God I'm up here.
yeah. I mean, Barbie would have looked like humongous.
And even yeah,
Absolutely.
but even the yesterday showing was a Friday afternoon, early afternoon showing, and there were, and I thought the Barbie core, the dressing up in pink, was going to die out this week too, but no, there were pink, there was a pink army. There was,
This.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it was
No.
very
This is.
uh,
Yeah. Yeah. No. I was gonna say yeah. This is the summer of Barbie. This is the year of Barbie for
it
sure.
is the year of the Barbie, and it's long
Absolutely.
overdue in my opinion. But
Yes.
and it also kind of a scene also that kind of touched in the film. We'll probably get a little later too, but I had my Barbie pink pants on, and I
Mm.
had like a white top on, and I was walking, and I had my Barbie tote, and I'm walking, and sure enough, I got on my way to the theater, minding my own business, get catcalled,
Oh yeah.
and it was
Mm.
your typical like.
Hey baby. Oh.
Well, since I had pink pants on, this man, if you want to call him that,
Mm.
human,
Yeah.
kept going, "Hey, Pinky, Pinky, hey,
Oh
Pinky," and
God.
then I think by his maybe fourth or fifth attempt, when he just saw me, kept walking, because I'm like, I'm not, because I didn't even realize he was talking to me until the third. I was like, oh, I'm wearing pink. He's talking to me, and I kept walking, and then I turned from Pinky. Can I curse on this show?
Go for it.
I went from Pinky to you fucking bitch.
Oh God.
So
Wow.
there's a scene in Barbie where she's getting catcalled and she doesn't understand it because all the Kens have been respectful in Barbie
Right.
land and they've never catcalled or anything, so she doesn't understand. And I loved how I like the switch, because Ken was just like, I'm being looked at and admired. And she's like, I'm being looked at, but there's a definite violent undertone to it. And
Yeah, yeah.
I don't feel any violent undertone. She goes, I do. And I was like, I did. And I was just walking to see this movie.
Yeah, I mean, well, so that's kind of the base. That's basically I don't say the premise of the movie. I mean, the movie kind of touches on like a lot of themes, and
It
which I
does.
didn't. Yeah, it really does. Like, I didn't expect this movie to be as sort of, I guess, touching in it, or as deep, or just really get into the themes of the world, like, like men versus women, patriarchy, feminism, like all
Go
these
for
like
it.
really adult themes in
It
this
was a
film. That was
Barbie parfait. It had
absolutely,
layers.
it did. Ooh, I know. It's like a good carrot cake.
A good cat. A Barbie cat. Just had fancy
Hmm.
layers.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so the basic premise of this film is, we learn early on that there are two separate worlds. There's Barbie Land, and then there's the real world.
Yay!
And
And
yeah, and we learned that, like, ever since Barbie being created, she's been th- sort of been created to sort of show that women can do anything, can be anything. That's why there are all these other variations of Barbies, like Barbie lawyer, Barbie astronaut. Like, women can be anything. Women can,
President
really
Barbie.
President Barbie. Women can do it all, and and through the power of Barbie, there's no sexism at all in the real world.
They
We
got
did it,
rid of
Barbie.
that. We have equal pay. You can
Yup.
walk to a movie theater peacefully.
Yeah. Pinky. That's not even a clever. All right. Well, I'm not gonna get into it. I'm
It's
not getting
I
into
like just yeah. I
it.
and it's sad because like by the fourth pinky, I clutched the keys like went
Right.
between my fingers like because you don't know, especially today, right now, you don't
Mm.
know like.
Yeah. No. I mean, that sucks, because like that's something, like a real thing women have to worry about. Like, me as a dude, I don't even. I don't even think about that. Like, I just.
And I don't, and I don't, and I was by myself. I didn't have any other Barbies with me, so I was
Oh.
like, and then I was just like, can I go into this store? Like it just like the whole like scenario, and it hadn't
Right. Well,
happened for a while. So I was, I was like, oh shoot! I'm like, we're still doing this.
I guess that's unfortunate. I'm glad you're safe, Barbie. I'm
Thank
glad you're safe.
you, thank
Yay.
you.
I try. But yeah, yeah. So, like, there's two separate worlds: real world and the Barbie world. And the Barbie world is very idealistic, version of Barbie. And pr- I'll say this: right, props to the set department. I
Oh my
mean, my
god,
God, the sets on this in Barbie Land. I mean,
amazing,
holy moly! I mean, I love the
amazing.
yeah. I mean, I love the
This-
fact that they really capture the vibe of a girl playing with Barbie dolls. Like, when Barbie steps in the shower, there's no running water, but she acts
There's
like
no
there's
running
water.
water, and there's no milk.
Yeah, there's no milk in the carton. Like, the fridge is literally just like a toy Barbie fridge, just blown up, where, like, there's
Mhm,
nothing in it. There's nothing in it, but there's like stickers with food on them to represent
mhm.
inside a fridge. Like, they really were meticulous here, and it's
And I
really
and I love
phenomenal.
how there was no stairs, so she kind of floats because that's what you did with your Barbie dream house. Didn't have stairs. You just picked her up and she gently landed on the ground, gracefully.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
she had a
Like, Barbie,
slide.
she had to slide into a pool with no water in it. Like, it's just
She could. It was so
like, yeah.
I
We
could
see her meet up with the.
I
Well, yeah,
could
we see her
smell
meet.
vanilla again from my dream kitchen.
Oh, it smells so nice.
It smells so
Yeah. And then we see her go to the beach, meeting up with the other Barbies. We see Issa Rae.
good.
We see
Yeah.
Emerald Fennel, who plays Midge,
Yes,
the
Midge.
discontinued Barbie
Alan's
doll.
wife. Alan's
Yeah.
wife.
Yes, I apologize. Yes, yes, Alan's wife. Yes.
Alan's wife.
Yeah,
What?
and then we see, yeah, yeah. We see the Kens. We see Ryan Gosling looking swollen, buff as
Oh
hell.
my God, I thought of that
Just
movie. I forgot the name of the movie he's in with Emma Stone and Steve Carell, but like
oh,
I'm sure that's
Crazy Stupid Love.
yes. When she's like, "What are you Photoshop?" Like that quote just popped into my head as soon as he came on. screen.
Yeah, no, it is Hawaiian rolls down there. Just
Oh,
washboard abs.
just washboard abs.
Like like marron. And
Jeez.
of course, Simu Leo's no slouch either. He's a handsome
Oh
fella.
my! He is a handsome Ken.
Yeah.
He who can dance.
I know. Got the moves like Jagga.
The moves like Jagger, like
I know.
Rolling
Yeah.
Stone Ken. Rockstar
Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, so we see them all living in this perfect world where everything is fantastic, made of plastic. We do get like inklings of sort of Ken's, I won't say jealousy, but just feeling like he's sort of being taken for granted a little bit because it is Barbie land. It's all about Barbie,
Miss
and Ken's kind
Barbie.
of like the sidekick. Yeah, he's like an afterthought. And I do like
Listen,
how that, yeah, like him feeling like the second banana kind of blows up and plays into a bigger thing later on in the movie, which I
like
thought,
how Lois Lane, Vicky Vale, Tess True Heart, how all those women
yeah,
must feel. Mary Jane Watson.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I know. And like I think I was watching some videos about this, recapping it, about how like Ken kind of feels like out of place and just overlooked in this world, like specifically made for Barbie. And in the video, they were like, "Yeah, that's kind of how women in the real world
Yeah.
feel in this world every day,
Yeah. Every day.
every day."
Especially when she's like, because she's like, to do what? He was like, can I stay over? And she says, why? And
I
she's
want you
like,
to
to
leave.
do what? And she's like, I want you to go. And I that was so empowering because you, as you usually have to say, oh, well, I have to get up early tomorrow. I have to work. I have this meeting first thing in the morning. She was just like, I don't want you to be here.
Yeah, like
It's and I could have I've never said that, and I don't unless
yeah,
like I thought I was in mortal danger.
yeah, because women, you have to like make excuses because you don't want to upset the big angry man because you don't know what the big angry man's gonna do. You
Mhm,
gotta approach him like a wild animal, if you
mhm.
will. But yeah, and
Yes.
then the movie takes a turn where Barbie starts like we said, where she's at the big dance number, and she said, "Hey, you guys ever think about dying?"
Yep.
And she's like, "Oh, I don't know why I said that." And then the next morning, we see everything is a little bit off. Like the shower is too hot, and she sleeps in
The
late,
air is
and
too cold, and the imaginary milk is sour.
yeah,
It's expired.
and of course, the biggest sin of all, she has flat feet. Her feet don't.
Flat feet.
Because like I guess it's like a thing where it's flat feet is a very natural thing, but in this world and maybe in the real world too, it just seems like unnatural in a weird way.
Yeah, because that's yeah.
Yeah, it's just feet,
It's like
people.
all of a sudden you've grown an extra appendage. Like what is happening?
Yeah. Yeah, so then she gets told that she has to go to see Weird Barbie, which is a Barbie that got played with a little too hard in the real world. And we've all
Yeah,
seen a weird Barbie at some point in our lives.
all seen a weird Barbie. We've owned, well, some of us have owned a weird Barbie.
Mm,
Some of
like you,
us are responsible for making that Barbie weird.
that's
I
right.
plead
Hey,
the fifth.
oh boy, statute of limitations. Don't worry.
But do you know
Yes.
what? Do you know what I was calling her though?
What were you calling her?
I was calling her Holtzman Barbie.
Holton Barbie?
Holtzman.
Holtzman. Oh, right. Because the weird Barbie is played by Kate McKinnon.
Yes,
S
Ghostbusters.
SNL's
That's right.
own, and yeah, she really Kate has a fun old time playing Weird Barbie, as she
Oh
normally
God,
does.
did she ever?
Yes, we
And
see her with like the
brilliantly.
yeah, she does. I mean, like, I mean, if you've seen Kate McKinnon in past movies, you know what she's capable of, and you know the role of Weird Barbie was pretty much written for her. I mean, like,
For
I can't
her.
imagine anybody else play it. Yeah,
I can't. I really can't.
just her like constantly doing splits, half her hair missing, crayon drawn
Like
around her
magic
eye.
marker. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And yeah, so basically she basically breaks down the logics of this world where she says, yeah, you having all these, thoughts and your flat feet, that's because of your the owner that you're tethered to in the real world. It gets a little us. Like
So
Jordan Peele's
gets a
movie.
little E.T. and Elliot there. Like she's
Oh,
feeling this, so you're feeling this.
yeah. That's a better analogy. That works way
Oh,
better.
thank you.
Uh yeah, yeah. So but yeah, so like your owner in the real world is having these weird existential thoughts, these dark thoughts about death and whatnot, and that's causing you to behave this way and to have flat feet and cellulite, which is just terrifying.
Mm,
So you
especially
have to
Barbie.
I know. Oof. So basically saying you have to go to the real world and talk to your the little girl, the owner that played with you, and through that you'll be able to uh, go back to the way you were, and like you'll know what it's like out there in the real world. Which I thought that was a pretty interesting take on
Yeah.
things. I was actually a little surprised too how quickly they kind of went into the real world.
Yeah, me too, because I wanted to stay in Barbie Land a little longer just
I,
because I wanted to stay in Barbie Land a little longer.
I kind of did too. I was having a fun time
It was
hearing
really
Lizzo.
fun.
Yeah, hearing
Yes.
Lizzo sing.
And then
It was a
you see a certain Barbie mermaid and you're just like, "Oh, it's you."
oh oh yeah, yeah. Dua Lipa, right? If I'm mistaken.
There's that Barbie and then there's Merman Ken and
Oh yes, yeah.
that's played by a very familiar face, which was hilarious.
That was that was something else.
That was something else. And
I was
we don't
not
want to spoil
expecting that.
anything, but also when you look at the film, hint, hint, you may not be able to see him.
Yes. Oh, I see what you did there. Was that
See, did you
okay?
see what I
Got
did
it.
there? Did you see?
I
Okay.
see it. Wink. Very nice. So Barbie goes to the real world, playing Indigo Girls, Closer to Fine.
I
Uh,
ran to the doctor. And she's enjoying herself too. And her little.
yeah,
And I also love that, because the proportions, because sometimes Barbie is bigger than the car. So I love
yeah,
how she just fit.
yeah. Like there's a lot of, I mean, campiness I've noticed throughout this film too. Like you said, like the way how Barbie's bigger than the car she's in, and when Ken reveals himself to have tagged along, like he almost causes an accident. Like Barbie was like, "Oh, Ken, you're in the backseat, ah!" And the car kind of turns upside down, but no one falls out, and then the car lands perfectly on its wheels again,
With
and
little
it's just
pink
like, oh,
clouds of
that's
smoke. Little
yes, like
pink clouds of
animated,
dust.
yeah, like
Yes.
cartoon. It was. There's a lot of campiness in this film too, so
Oh,
it's
and
oh,
it works. It just
it really
works.
does. It really does. Yeah, so then they take this long journey into the real world. Um, they they end up in Los Angeles
Hmm.
by the on the beach, and of course they're both in like rollerblade attire, stretchy spandex, and it's like you said, like all of them are
Those were
looking at the.
Yes, I believe those were the rolling Barbie Ken outfits from 1982.
Ooh,
Yes.
I had no idea. Like, but I had a feeling you'd know. That's why you're on this podcast, Joe.
Yeah, that and John's in the wilderness somewhere.
Yes. Yes. He's in the
That
wilderness.
too.
Yes, he's
He's fine. Everyone, he's fine. He's hydrated. He's fine.
he'll be fine.
He'll
He's a
be
big boy.
fine. He knows all that Grizzly Adams stuff.
Exactly. He's a
We're
man of the woods.
we're 90% certain.
Yes, yes. Wouldn't yeah. I'm sure he would text me if he's
He
somewhere.
would
He's
have
fine.
said, yeah, exactly. Unless the bear ate his phone. But
Well, let's not think negative. Let's not think like
we're
that.
not. No, no, we're not. We're gonna. That's not the Kenergy we're gonna give out here today, folks.
Ooh, love it.
Oh, see what I
Hey
did
now, love it,
there? Hey.
love it. Yeah, and I also love how like when Ken and Barbie hit the real world, yeah, like a lot of people kind of stop and stare at them, and for the first time, Barbie's kind of feeling like this negative
Objectified.
energy,
Because she's the other.
objectified.
She's like, people are looking at me like I'm an object.
Yeah, she's like I don't have a word for it, but I'm very conscious of the way I feel about myself.
And I
So it's
loved that she was like, she wasn't like twisting her hair. Like, I don't know, everyone's looking at me. She wasn't even though she was playing stereotypical Barbie, that they mentioned that through the whole film, she wasn't being a stereotypical Barbie because people
right.
have their own, this negative image of Barbie being kind of ditzy and blonde and not smart, and she was the opposite of that. She spoke clearly, she spoke intelligently, she spoke eloquently.
Yeah, very much so, very much so. But of course, in the real world, if you're a blonde that looks like Margot Robbie, people kind of
Mm-hmm.
objectify you with their gaze and sometimes with their actual hands because someone
Oh,
actually goes up and slaps
and
her on the
smacks
hinder,
her. Yeah, and I'm
and then
so glad she just turned around and punched him.
yes, justified.
Yes.
And they get it, and they both get arrested for that. And
Yep.
then they're like, "Oh, maybe we should change our clothes." And then they change it to the cowboy
Oh,
outfits
yeah, the
with
Western Barbie and Ken outfit.
Western Barbie. Ooh, so that was a thing too, like those Western
Oh, yes,
outfits.
yes, yes, they were.
It's a good look. It's a good look.
Oh, it's such a good look. It's such a good look.
It
And Ken
is.
enjoyed it. Ken and also like you can't get more like kind of a masculine like type than a cowboy. Like what's more? I mean, there's it's a cowboy. That's the only to me the only thing more masculine than a cowboy is Indiana Jones.
Mm, absolutely. Just that hat and just
It's
that
a
that's screams man.
screams
Yeah,
very manly,
manly. Absolutely.
masculine, alpha.
Yes. Speaking of which, I do like how in this film, like once Ken is in this world, the real world, he learns about things like the patriarchy and
The
how
patriarchy and Rocky
yes,
movies.
yes, of course, and how men are kind of put on a higher pedestal than women. Like I think at one point, another SNL alum, Lauren Holt, asked
Yes.
him what. Yeah, that was a surprise. I didn't know she was in it. I was like, oh shit, Lauren Holt. But yeah, she asks him what time it is, and he's like, no one's ever asked me that. Oh wow, it's like he's taken aback by it.
Like
And
you want to ask me a question you think I might have an answer to?
what?
What?
Huh?
Hmm. And
Yeah,
he's
and it's
happy.
yeah, and then Ken gets immersed in this, the patriarchy about how men have it a little bit easier than women in
And
the real world.
equestrian life because he likes some horses.
Yeah, yeah, horses are powerful beasts. As,
Horses,
as,
horses, horses.
yes, as we learn. Yeah, and then we also see Barbie finally finding the girl that she thinks she's supposed to find, Sasha,
Yes.
who is like like a sort of typical junior
Oh,
high age sort of goth girl
mean,
dressed all in black
mean
and mean.
tween. Mean.
Yeah,
Mean
yeah,
and unapologetically mean, which some
mm.
might feel empowering.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of that. It's definitely Sasha kind of dressing down Barbie because when Barbie first meets her, she thinks, "Oh, she's gonna greet me with open arms because I'm Barbie and everybody loves me and look at all the things I've done for womankind." And of course,
Womankind and feminism, and they're like, no, you
yeah,
ain't doing. And they called her out, and they called her out on many of the backlash topics that Barbie has endured over the years. Like
right,
you said, impossible standards of beauty and weight, and like,
right. And
everything's
I
so
think
easy for you.
yeah, like I think she gets called a fascist at some point, and
She
how
gets
she's
called a
basically,
fascist. Yeah.
yeah,
She
just like a, yeah, and I mean, not all those things aren't without merit. Like I
no.
definitely see that side of like how Barbie can be seen as like as a negative
Right.
for women, but like I also liked how the movie didn't shy away from that. Like, yeah, some people have conflicting views and opinions on Barbie. Like, well, yeah, she is this, but she's also this for a lot of little
And
girls.
that's
So
why they went to see Oppenheimer first.
yes, exactly. I want to see somebody blow up half the country
Yeah.
before I see this pink Barbie movie.
Because they too are wearing dull earth tone colors.
Absolutely, absolutely, and
That's right.
yes, absolutely, absolutely.
So
And then
funny.
yeah, and I also liked how this movie gets so meta too, because basically what happens once Barbie and Ken are in the real world, I guess the FBI gets a hold of it. They get wind of it,
Yeah,
so they call Mattel, the actual
they
Mattel
call
company,
Mattel. They call Dad.
and they let them know, hey, two of your dolls are running loose in the city. Go get on it.
So
And
so they know about
yeah,
aliens and they know about Barbies.
what don't they know? What else aren't they telling us?
But what else are I don't really want to know because I'm scared.
Yeah, it's a little frightening. A little frightening.
There's just yeah, okay, you knew there's UFOs. All right, okay, that's fine. Don't tell me anymore
Yeah,
unless they want to get a plant and some Reese's Pieces. I don't need to know.
unless it's E.T. Who are my favorite aliens? Alf or
Alf.
Howard the Duck.
Mm-hmm.
That might be it.
Groot.
This. Oh, of course. We are
You know
Groot.
we are
Yeah, those
Groot. So
those are top of it.
any just as long as they're not like wearing red jumpsuits and one of them's named Diana.
Oh boy. Oh
I'm
boy.
sorry for you younger listeners. You're just going to have
Yes.
to Google.
Ask your parents. They'll
Ask your parents.
absolutely. But yeah, so then at the Mattel company, we get to see Will Ferrell as the CEO
Will
of Mattel.
Ferrell was
Another
not
one, just
expecting that.
another guy, just loving the role he's in, just
Oh my
just
god.
chewing,
Choo
stealing
choo
scenes.
choo.
Nom nom nom.
No,
Yes, scenery.
no,
Exactly. Like the way Cookie Monster attacks a chocolate chip, he attacks scenery.
it's just, and I did notice. Did you notice out of all the because in a way they're kind of Men in Black also, like the
Yes.
suits. He's the only one wearing a pink tie.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think I did notice. I think I
So
did notice that.
I was like, is that a little glimmer? Are you kind of on Barbie side? Like,
Hmm. Maybe. Ooh. Sugar Daddy Ken. Hmm.
oh, but okay, there's a huge misconception about Sugar Daddy Ken.
Okay, all right, let's get into it. Because I didn't know about Sugar Daddy Ken or Earring Ken until this movie.
Magic earring cannon, and he had like you could wipe it, or you had like a little sponge or like a little wet cloth, and like depending on the temperature, you could either bring his earring back or you could wipe it away. Hence
Ooh.
magic.
Oh, so your
Now,
parents never have to know.
Sugar Daddy Ken, exactly. Sugar Daddy Ken, the dog is named Sugar. And I
Yeah.
believe Barbie also had a dog named Honey. I believe that was her own dog. But this dog is named Sugar. Sugar has a daddy, like a dog dad, like a fur baby. They should have just called it Fur Baby or Fur Dad Ken. But that was and he's dressed impeccably well. So people kind of got mixed messages about Sugar Dad, which is why he is no longer being sold.
Oh, I still think it works. I still think we can make it work in this day and age. There was
I
there
mean,
was
just
so many. Yeah, I mean there
so
were so many like discontinued uh Ken and Barbie dolls in this film that I had no idea about because I'm not in
video.
the Barbie world. Like
I
the Barbie
I'm
with the video in her
yep. She's like
like
I have.
implanted in her like Videodrome. Like she has like a
Mhm.
flat screen in her back and a
Yep.
camera. And I was like, Jesus.
And
Or
growing up Skipper.
yeah, let's talk about that because that is
Let's
insane.
talk about that. Let's talk about that because I went recently, early like beginning of the summer. I went to the Museum of Failure, and
Right,
it's
right.
a great, and they have all these famous failures of pop culture like Pepsi Clear and Atari 2600, and along
Oh,
those lines, right, yes, and along those lines, there is Growing Up Skipper, where if you moved her arm a certain way, she would develop.
mm.
And if you moved them back, she would go back. So in a way, it was kind of like symbolic of like being a tween, a teenager. You know, you go up and you have those smooth swings where you feel you're an adult, but no, you go back to being a kid. Why not show that physically? Somebody said, and somebody said, okay, and everybody was wrong.
Yeah, like I understand uh like the attempt or the
Right.
things. Yeah, like I understand what they were going for, but it
A for effort.
yes, I appreciate the effort.
Execution. Execution, not so much. Not
Yeah,
so,
like
yeah, it just,
I can only
yeah.
I can only imagine
Skipper
some
has, yeah.
yeah, some creepy dudes might
The
have creepy thoughts.
creepy dudes, the kids that Skipper babysits are all confused. Like, they don't
Yeah.
know. There's a
Like, oh, I
lot
got
happening.
yeah, it's they're big and then they're small and big and
Mhm,
small.
mhm.
Oh,
It's,
I'm having feelings.
and, and also, look, one of the, I'm going to compare Barbie to Dolly Parton because, and she is a backwards Barbie in her own right. That's one of her albums.
Let's
But
do it.
also going back to the museum failure, she had this great quote about failure, and you just kind of, you do fail at stuff, but you keep going. And I
Yeah,
feel
no.
like with the discontinued Barbies and all the reincarnations of Barbies and, with the backlash, yeah, there were some failures, but you kept going. And look what happens when you keep going. We get this amazing film, you know?
Yeah, don't be disheartened by failure, people.
Don't,
It's the
yes.
natural steps to the road to success.
Listen to Dolly, St. Dolly. Amen.
Yeah. Oh man,
Listen to the
in her name we
backwards.
pray.
In her name we pray.
The Father, the
But
Son, and
yeah,
the Holy Dolly.
and the Holy Dolly, the Holy
Hmm.
Parton.
Yeah, the Holy Party. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah.
What we should also, yeah, I mean, we should also talk about America Ferrera's role in this too. Gives a really good
And
performance in
she gives the most speech. This speech
this.
is like the most speech. I can't even talk. It's just so amazing.
It's the
And it
speechiest of all speeches.
it is this it is the Gettysburg Address of this movie and
Mm.
possibly a lot of movies because I mean
Yeah,
I'll just read the first part of it. It's literally impossible to be a woman. You're so beautiful and so smart, and it kills me that you don't think you're good enough. Like, we always have to be extraordinary, but somehow we're always doing it wrong. And I felt
yeah,
that so hard.
yeah. Like I think, yeah, it's. I mean, I think that speech. I mean, I thought it was a beautiful speech, but like I'm sure it probably hit harder for women and whatnot. Like,
Mhm.
cause like that, because like I saw that I saw this movie with my wife, but like like I liked it, but like she was like leaning forward when that scene came out. When she was
Mhm.
like yes, yes,
I might have applauded. I might have applauded.
stood up and applaud like
I
everybody
didn't
get up
stand up.
right now.
I
Okay,
wanted to. I did. I wanted to rally, but the Barbies behind me, their ice bucket of whatever substance they brought in had dropped twice. So I'm like, no.
got it. Oh my. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
All right, but yeah. So
Just
we learned. But we learned America Ferrera's character, Gloria, is the mother to Sasha,
Sasha.
the yeah, the teen girl that Barbie talked to, and who Barbie thought was the like her tether. But we find out that the tether was actually Gloria because she's the one that's like still kind of played with the Barbie doll, like even after Sasha threw it away.
And
So like,
she was still sketching, and she had random thoughts of death, Barbie.
yeah, as you do, and when you get older, you get weird, dark thoughts.
You do,
Yeah,
especially
I
these
mean,
past 3 years.
let's
Past three
don't look
years
at
have been a deep, dark thought.
don't look at my diary.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I also love how this movie, it's kind of a coming of age tale too, like of Barbie, because like as she, yeah, like in the beginning of the movie, she's like this kind of young, naive-ish person, but then as she gets older and has more complex thoughts, like everybody doesn't
Mhm,
realize, she and like starts to question the world around her, like she starts
mhm.
to grow. So like I thought that was interesting too, and then we see that as uh, Gloria and Sasha and Barbie go all the way back to Barbie Land, and but
Just to
before then
find out.
yeah, exactly. But then we see that, but we see Ken has already left for Barbie Land to bring back the ideas from the new world.
Of horses and
Yeah,
patriarchy and boy band attire.
yeah, very much so. But yeah, we see like, yeah, but he kind of spreads the word about what he learned about patriarchy, and but they're kind of also like kind of going through the motions of what they think it means to be a man. So we see a lot of flat screen TVs, The Godfather playing. Uh,
Oh my god! You do not understand how loud
yeah,
I laughed. Like, you've never seen The Godfather? Here, sit down and I'll talk through the whole thing.
as a man, yeah, that is something we would do. Like I know, I know there's like a handful of movies that dudes love to show women who haven't seen. I know like The Godfather's up there. I'm sure Fight Club is up there.
It's
You know,
funny because it's true.
Scarface, Reservoir Dogs. There's like a whole bunch of movies where dudes are like, "No, babe, you gotta see this movie. It's changed my
Rocky,
life."
it
Or the,
did. It did change your life.
I was like, yeah, we do that. Like, I also love that they did name drop of the Snyder cut with with the Justice
Of
League.
Justice League?
Like, oh my god, they mentioned that. It's yeah, it's. I mean, because
No
like
stone unturned.
yeah, because I mean, you've also like if you do a search about Barbie reviews, you will see like a lot of these bros saying, "Oh, this movie's anti-man and it's too woke," and like these are the parts where I was like, "All right, this is the stuff that probably got them all upset and all in a
Yeah,
huff."
the truth. Yes, the
Like,
truth.
yeah, they're
The
making
big
fun of me.
giant the big
Yeah,
giant mirror where they saw their reflection.
yeah, like they're making fun of me, and I don't like it. This movie's woke.
Oh, oh,
Hmm.
the poor baby. But they're so
Oh,
pretty. They should just smile.
damn. Yeah, yes. Smile there,
Just
Pinky.
smile. Smile there, Pinky.
Yeah, smile, Pinky.
Just
But
that energy we're looking for.
yeah, but yeah, I do like that, like how they touch on, like, the male female dynamics that now changed in the world, and how the women in Barbie Land kind of forgot all the things that they used to be and the things they used to do, and just now kind of service the man.
And
It's
they're wearing slightly more provocative outfits.
yeah, no, it's this movie's saying a lot. It's really digging at some themes here. It goes a lot deeper than I thought.
It did, and it was really. And then there's the Ken off,
Oh, the Ken off, right? Because I think,
which I
oh boy,
enjoyed, and I also didn't realize how poignant the lyrics of Matchbox 20.
you too, right? I mean, I had no idea. Like
I didn't even think of it that way. I was just like, this is the song I just play in the background while I'm loading the dishwasher.
like JoJo, like no joke. Like I've always thought it says, oh yes, that song from the '90s I heard when I grew up,
Yep.
and like when my wife and I left the theater, like I was playing it on my iPhone, and she was like, "You know why they chose that particular song for the movie, right?" And I was like, "No." It's like listen to the lyrics, and then I listened to it, and I was like, "Oh, this is
Oh,
because it wouldn't make sense to use that particular song in this movie because if you like, folks, Google the lyrics. It's kind of basically about like the
It's Ken's
insecure,
journey.
yeah, like an insecure, toxic man becoming a little, creating a toxic sort of relationship with his lady. And there seems to be sort of themes of like violence at play too. But yeah, but like all my life, I just thought of it as, oh, it's just that song, and the fact that Ken kind of sings this song to Barbie as like a
with
serenade.
with conviction.
Yeah, like over and like he's not even paying attention to the words. He's just kind of. I just always thought the song, oh, there's like one of those frat bro songs that bros
I
like.
want to take you for granted.
Mm. So yeah,
Mm.
so it's, and the fact that it's like all the other Kens sing that song to serenade to their Barbies. I like the fact that like, and they do this on the beach at a campfire. I liked how one Ken is doing this on a full drum set while he's
Yep,
singing. That's
yep.
just a funny visual.
And then she
Um,
gets up to make them jealous because the lyric is I want to take you for granted, and that's literally what she does. She gets up and just goes have another Ken serenade her with the same song. So she's taking that Ken for granted, and I was like, well played.
layers upon layers upon
There's,
layers.
there's Barbie cake.
Oh my! Oh, the sweet tasty cake. Uh, but I do like how the like all the Barbies, like once they get snapped out of Ken's sort of
Spell.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Chance.
They try
Enchantment.
to enchantment spell, exactly. They all rally together to sort of take back Barbie Land, because at this point the Kens have taken over. They renamed Barbie Land Kendom. I've also seen in some videos about like the way the Kens kind of took over the White House or the Pink House in Barbie Land might maybe be a little commentary about January 6th. Maybe you can sort of see that. Well,
Ooh, I
it,
can see it. Yeah, because things got violent.
yeah, it's very. The, it's like basically what's happening. It's like a big commentary on toxic masculinity and how fragile male egos kind of lead to death and destruction, and just because like I mean it's basically all this sort of B plot, which became a major plot in the movie with Ken about how he felt left out and out of place, just like really hurt him, and it just caused him down this path of like basically wanting to take over the world. He takes over Barbie's dream house at one point,
Dreamhouse makes it
named it
Ken's Dojo Casa.
Mojo. Isn't it Mojo Dojo Casa
Mojo
House?
Dojo Casa House, yes, which is
Yeah,
really all of the same
it's
word.
yeah, it's yes, exactly. It's like that doesn't roll off the tongue at all.
His lair,
Uh,
if you will,
his
because
lair.
because Ken really essentially becomes a Batman villain. He feels he's mistreated and he
Yeah,
wants some respect, and he turns slightly evil.
turns to the dark
As
side, but
he turns to the dark side, is as dark as Barbie Land will permit.
yeah, absolutely. And I do like how their plan is basically to sort of do all the tropes that women do to, I guess, win men's favor, like pretending they don't know how to use the computer and Instagram, and just like always needing the men's help for things, making
Twirling
them
the
feel like they're,
hair.
yeah, or this
There's
basically making them feel like they're in control, like saying, "Oh, they wear glasses," and like, "Oh, I don't feel attractive," and then the men would be like,
oh
"Take your
gosh,
glasses off."
just
Yeah,
you're beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Also,
And then,
there's
yeah,
one Barbie that she twirls her hair, and it's like I don't even know how I got here. And I've said that very sarcastically to many a suitor, and then I usually follow up with, "Will you buy me something?"
and they buy you something.
I think too. Yeah, I think.
Well, yeah,
Not my
we men are,
respects, but you know,
yeah, yeah, we're men are simple creatures. There's no two ways about it. We're just dumb meat on feet.
a horse is a horse is a horse, of
Of
course.
course, of course. But yeah, but I do like the plan they have to sort of woo the men in their favor, and then sort of turn their gaze towards other men, causing infighting in between the Kens, which of course leads to a war, a Ken against Ken, that big war, a big war on the beach where they're just fighting.
The Ken Mindy, if you will.
Yes. Oh yes. Kenburger Hill.
Kimberger Hill.
And they're just fighting with like tennis rackets, and it's very non-violent fight, just like slap fights, I believe, are their weapon of choice.
Yes.
And yeah, and then it leads to that huge dance number
Oh my
between
God.
which was pretty gorgeous.
It was gorgeous. It was like West Side Story level fighting gorgeous.
No, very much so. And but yeah, and then I think at that point it leads to the Barbies voting into law the turning back of Barbie Land, Kendom into Barbie Land, and the Kens
Yes.
were so busy fighting they didn't realize. Oh wait, we were supposed to vote on that.
Weren't we supposed to vote today?
Right,
Yeah.
and then I do again. It leads to like a lot of deeper themes where Barbie and Ken kind of talk it out, and Ken always felt like a second banana. He doesn't know who he is without Barbie, because like the whole reason Ken was kind of created was to be with Barbie, and to like without Barbie's gaze, or without Barbie, who is Ken. It gets very existential too.
It's
Like,
not biblical at all.
yeah, there we are.
That's right.
Yeah. But yeah, it gets very like, who am I? What am I doing here? And like, and then
Who am
at
I
the
if I'm
very end,
not Barbie's boyfriend?
yeah, exactly. And it's like, you're just Ken. It's
Just
maybe it's Barbie and it's Ken. Maybe all the accessories and things we have don't make us who we are.
exactly.
And it's like some heavy shit here, man.
It is
It's like,
layers.
I get like, it's way heavier than a summer movie should be, but like, this is, I mean, it was at these points where like, oh, there's the art house director Greta Gerwig, like,
There you go. She
inserting,
snuck it in
yeah,
there.
snuck it right on in there.
She snuck it on in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like
and then, like,
the merman that we can't see.
oh, merman, Dad, merman. Yeah, boy. And and at the very end, like, everything kind of ends happily, but Barbie kind of is having this existential crisis, like she's been having throughout the
She's evolved.
movie. Yeah, because the beginning of the movie, she was just very happy to sort of live
She
her
didn't want
life, and
anything to change. She liked everything being perfect. She didn't, she's like,
yeah,
today was perfect and tomorrow's going to be perfect and the next day and the next day. And she was more than happy in the beginning. She was more than happy to go back to that. But then she's like, no, there's work to be done. And if anything, I was created to help women.
Yeah,
and my
and
work's
even
not done.
Yeah, and America Ferrera even said that. Yeah, life is change.
It's
Life is all
change.
about it. And even Barbie says, that sounds terrifying.
It is terrifying.
It's a goddamn nightmare. It's a goddamn nightmare.
When Holtzman Barbie, Kate McKinnon says she makes her choose between the Birkenstock and the high heel. Barbie and I both said it at the same time. The high
heel. High heel, please.
High heel, please. Please.
Manolos, please.
Just. I don't want the Birkenstock.
Yeah, it might be comfortable and contours better to the foot, but I'd rather live in the dreamland.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I related to that so very much.
Oh my God. But yeah, and then we get this this appearance at the very end from Ruth Handler, who
she first appeared when Barbie was running away from the Mattel. She finds this little room and there's this lovely woman with the gingham print, and she's talking to Barbie, and Barbie's like, who are you? And then it's revealed that she was Ruth Handler, who created Barbie.
Right, yeah, Ruth Handler created Barbie. They even make mention of her tax evasion issues.
Which she's like, that's a different movie.
Yeah. And
which I will gladly go see.
Absolutely. And oh, there was also this amazing part in the movie that I really liked. This isn't too big a spoiler, I guess, but like there's this one point where Barbie is like kind of sad and dejected and given up, and where she's like, I'm not stereotypically pretty. I don't feel stereotypically pretty anymore. And then you hear a voiceover from Helen Mirren saying, "Note to the film: if you're
Yes,
gonna say that line, Margot Robbie shouldn't be the person
shouldn't
saying
be
it."
because it's casting it.
Yeah, like it breaks the fourth wall really quick for a minute there, but I thought it was fucking
Because
hilarious.
she just said what we were all thinking.
Yup, yup,
Because
yup.
Margot Robbie is one of the most beautiful women in the world.
I mean,
She is. She
yeah.
is.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that because I'm a happily married man, and the only beautiful woman in my life is my wife.
That is so good of you to say.
Thank you. I try.
I'm not
But
married, so I can say it. Margot Robbie's fucking beautiful.
yeah. Hey now. But yeah, and then we have this really existential moment between Ruth and Barbie where Barbie is like at this point in the movie towards the end, she's like, yeah, I don't know where I fit now. Like it's like
Yeah,
almost like what's my place in the world now? What's my place in life? Because like I thought I was doing all this good just being Barbie, but the world is still in a messy place. So like what's my purpose? Do I have a purpose? Should I be here? I mean,
which
it's all
also,
like, yeah. I mean, it's
but
all,
it also
yeah,
touches on the dolls. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, no, it touches on the dolls. Like, it's the conversation a lot of people have had about Barbie dolls. A lot of people have had about themselves. It's like, it's
Mm-hmm.
touching on a lot of themes here.
Mm-hmm.
hmm And,
When
yeah, it almost gets like, yeah, it's almost like
hallelujah,
the, hallelujah. I mean, it's almost like the Matrix or,
a
like,
little
like,
bit.
or the Truman Show at this one point where
Mm-hmm.
it's just, it's like the two of them standing in this empty void, and them talking about life, and like basically Ruth saying, if you want to be a real person, you can. You don't even have to ask for permission. You've always
You don't have to
had it
ask for
in you.
permission. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
very Dorothy wanting to go, but she doesn't go. She doesn't go back to Kansas. Because
yeah,
Kansas
yeah,
is Barbie land. She goes forth,
yeah. And we get that beautiful montage of like all this home footage of like women and their daughters and
and
like
those were
family.
women who worked on the film, and their
Yes,
friends and family.
yeah, cast and crew, family members,
Yeah,
all their home footage, which was again at that point I was like, there's the Greta.
yep.
That's the part where that's the indie art house movie. And
hmm
yeah, and then we have Barbie going into the real world, and like the final,
Wearing
and like
Birkenstocks
wearing Birkenstocks, and the last line in the movie is her going to see a gynecologist.
because she has
Which,
genitals now.
yay!
Yay!
And wow, I mean, this movie again, like I didn't know what to expect from it. I didn't know what it would be, but I mean, it really was. I could not have predicted what this film was gonna give me. Like it was silly and funny and campy in some places, but in other places was like really dealing with some
Poignant
like
and
some,
thought provoking, and
yeah, like it
it
was,
made you it made you
yeah,
think,
yeah, very much so. Like I may have to
which
see this
is
movie a second time.
I am. I'm going on Tuesday. I'm going on Tuesday, and I also I'll if you want, I can send you like the pictures. Like every time we went, this summer was my return to the movies as well. So I went to the movies a lot this summer. But there's that Barbie box in all the theaters, and I kept my wonderful fella who was very
Oh,
patient with me. He graciously took pictures, and he
oh.
was he was getting a little. He's like, again. I was like, I don't have it in this outfit. Do you, do you not know the lore of Barbie? And he's like, okay.
Such a man.
So it's like, Knuff, okay, Knuff.
Knuff. Yes, I am Knuff.
I am Knuff.
I'm waiting for them to sell those tie-dye sweat hoodies
They're
in
on sale
Q.
already.
I knew it.
They're
All
all,
right.
yeah.
I knew it was only a matter of time.
It
Uh,
is great. And also, I just want to shout out one more thing. There's lots of cameos. But I also, the old lady that Barbie speaks to on the park bench, because she's experiencing like things that aren't happiness for the first time. She's seeing anger and sorrow and sadness, and she sits next to this elderly lady and who says, "You're beautiful," and she's like, "I know it," and that gives Barbie a little hope. Like, okay, I did reach somebody. But that's played by legendary costume designer Anne Roth. And
ooh.
you may not know her name, but these are the movies she's done costumes for. And this is her first credit as an actress in Barbie movie, but she's done the costumes for Closer, Working Girl, The Birdcage, Clute, Mamma Mia, The Talented Mr. Ripley, Midnight Cowboy, The Hours, and The Stepford Wives, the 2004 version. So
Fantastic.
gotta give a
Wow.
shout out there because it's not Barbie if Barbie don't got the clothes.
Yes, absolutely. Fabulous. And yeah, that's our episode, guys. I mean, Barbie, wow, it surprised I was pleasantly surprised with how much I like this movie, how funny it is, how like, it can be silly in some points, but it's silly in all the good ways, and like again, just poignant and heartfelt and sweet and just a lot deeper and more impactful and meaningful than like I thought it was going to. Like I really was not expecting this to have the punch that it did. Like I was pleasantly surprised with it,
You've heard of a
for
bitch
sure.
slap? Well, this was a Barbie slap,
Mm. Five across the eyes.
and it leaves a little pink tuft once it hits your hand. Once it makes
Nice.
contact,
Absolutely. Yeah. So Joe, do you
it
have any
smells
final
like
words about?
vanilla.
Do you have any
I
final
love
words about Barbie?
I loved it so much. I loved that Barbie was she evolved throughout the movie as she has through the decades. I loved how when they were even planning to take back Barbie Land, she knew something wasn't right. She knew, like, equality still had to happen. I love that
Right.
she and Ken didn't. And I also love their, like, kiss her, and she's like, that's not the answer. Because they always wanted it to end, like, with this romantic kiss. And, like, no, that's not. She doesn't end up with Ken. She ends up going to her gynecologist. Well, good for
Yeah.
her.
No, I thought that was interesting too about like how yeah she doesn't kiss Ken or any of the guys at all. Like she's
No.
like just her making herself a part of a couple. That's not the answer here.
That's
That's
not the
not the
answer.
answer to.
She's never really needed to be another half to someone. She's always been complete by herself.
Yeah, I thought that was a strong message too. Again, one of those strong messages I did not expect for them to tackle in this film. I was like, wow, all right.
Because while they do sell wedding dresses for Barbie, there's not a wedding Barbie. There's not a bride Barbie.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Also,
Okay.
just two quick things. I love that Alan got to fight the other Kens, and he was kicking butt, and sadly nobody noticed.
Yeah, I didn't. That kind of surprised me too. Where like Alan just takes out the construction workers who haven't figured out how to build a wall yet. Like
And
they just build
yes,
it
because
up.
they were just building up, not across. And he's like, "I'm never getting out of here." I hope if there is a sequel, I hope Alan gets to come to the real world.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, with all the money this movie's making, I'm sure people. I'm sure like a sequel's already been at least discussed because like I
yes,
know they've already talking about a few other sort of movies in this vein. Like I remember like a Polly Pocket movie was definitely
yeah,
in the like about 2 years ago, but I'm sure after this movie, it's kind of been fast tracked. It's supposed to star like Lily Collins and Lena Dunham's supposed to direct it.
yeah.
So
And then there's a Uno movie. I heard that they have like 14. Mattel has like 14 toy movies. They won't
yeah,
out
it's.
now.
I mean, like
Oh, and
after
then
the way.
uh-huh.
Well, no, I was gonna say the way after the way the money this movie made. Like like Mattel just green lighting films after. I mean, once
Yeah.
the strike is over, like a lot of stuff's gonna get greenlit.
Take that, Battleship.
Oh God. Oh, I didn't even see that movie. I just remember,
Ha
like,
ha.
I remember Rihanna was in it, and that
for
was it.
for 8 whole lines.
Uh,
I think there were
Uh,
like 8 words or 8 lines. I think that was the culmination of her contribution to the film. Also, just one
Ella.
more quick thing. The glorious husband in the movie, who's trying to desperately learn a language, that is America Ferrera's husband in real life as well.
Yeah, he got a bit of a role here too. He got a chance to shine as well.
Got an
Nice.
IMDb credit there.
There you go.
There you
There you go.
go.
Yeah. All right.
But I
Yeah. So we put out the word on Twitter about what you folks thought about this movie, and we got a few tweets in. Mr. Scott Hume at MNS Hume says, I loved the Barbie movie. I went in expecting a light and fluffy cotton candy of a movie and ended up with a movie that has a lot to say about the world and our place in it. Also, I hope America Ferrera wins the Best Supporting Actress Oscar for her performance, especially that one scene. And then we have Rob Ackerman chiming in saying, one of the greatest monologues I've ever seen on screen.
It truly was.
It really was. Like, I mean, that's because I remember people, like, before I saw the movie today, like, I remember hearing people saying that one speech she gives and the final line in this movie really, like, hit.
Yes.
And, our good friend Manette Moratti says,
Uh-huh.
also wanted to add that the 10-year-old girl in me needed to be told it's okay to be enough via the Barbie movie. And she
Yeah.
also kind of attached her thoughts on the movie when she first saw it, saying, the 10 out of 10 screenplay did not feel like 2 hours at all and didn't
It
over
didn't.
explain the world. And then she
Nope.
goes on to say, which I thought was some pretty high praise here, Barbie will join the ranks of Mean Girls and Legally Blonde in being a movie I will want every teen girl to watch at least once in order for them to be happy with the dark/weird side, or not, and understanding how the world will see them.
And do that day on a Wednesday so you can wear pink.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's our episode, guys. Barbie,
Yay!
go see it. Like, whatever you think
Let's
it's
see
gonna be,
it.
yeah, go in with an open mind. Don't be like one of these Ben Shapiro motherfuckers, and just go in and, like, it's a great movie. Like, there's no
It's
way you
really
can't think
good.
this movie's. There's no way you can think this movie's not great or good.
And if you don't like it, you can just go and see Oppenheimer right after.
Yes, you can go into the doom and gloom that is
That is the
Oppenheimer.
beauty of this. You have a backup plan.
Absolutely. That's
And
it's the beauty of choice, people. The beauty of
it's
life.
the beauty of choice, and God damn it, it's still America.
For now.
For now.
For now. Well, Joanna, this has been a delight. You have been a delight.
Thank you for
Awesome as
having me.
no,
It's
no.
it's approaching, I think, the year anniversary of when I came on to talk about Ghostbusters. I am honored to be an honorary SNL nerd. I'm gonna get a
Mhm.
T-shirt made up saying that. Thanks for having me, Dee.
No, of
John, we
course.
hope you're well in the wilderness.
Yes, be well, John. Stay strong. Stay alive. Survive.
Send
Uh,
send, send a
uh,
flare gun,
yes. If you
a
need if you
pink
need
one.
help, blink twice if you're okay.
Blink
Uh,
twice. Morse code.
uh,
Morse code.
yes. Joe, is there anything you want to plug, promote? Floor is yours, please.
Um, I really am supporting the writers and the actors during these strikes. I hope a resolution comes very soon so I can get back to work. If not, I have an adorable Poshmark closet, and you can reach that on my it's a link in my bio on my Instagram, which is Coco Masala. I have a lot of cute stuff that I can't fit into anymore because of the quarantine 15. So, and please keep in mind, if you do buy something, it helps my cat Barney, who needs he needs IV treatments right now, and that
Mm-hmm.
stuff's expensive coming from Chewy.com every week. So if you want to take a look, that'd be awesome. And if you're not, just send Barney and me some good thoughts.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
he's my little man,
Oh, little Barney.
my little
Awesome.
Barney.
Little fella.
Little
Yeah,
fella.
and yeah, that's the episode. As always, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Darren Credible, DARIN Credible. follow Trumbull. Give him a follow at Trumbull Comic on Twitter or X. I guess they're calling it.
Oh yeah,
I'm
the
good. And
head.
yeah, and yeah, like. Yeah, and if you want to donate some money to our Patreon, non-productive.com, throw us a couple bones, leave a review, 5-star review on, Apple Podcast or whatever streaming listening thing of your choice. And yes, and if you want to support the people of the SAG-AFTRA strike or the WGA, there's 100 ways you can do it. You can go to their website, sagaftra.org or wga.org. Support them, help them out. Let's get this thing resolved and solved, and everybody get paid equally, and all those good things.
So we can have the best day
ever! Yay! Hey, you guys ever think about dying?
Yes.
Oh God. Oh, that's a real answer.
Oh my God! Just one more thing. When Issa Rae is just like, "Not today," and then the Mattel comes out of her mouth when she curses.
Oh yeah, she drops an F-bomb, but they bleep it out, and a Mattel sticker over. That was pretty funny too.
Oh my God! And I want that president sweatshirt, sweat leisure wear that she's wearing, and she is such a beautiful Barbie. I was so happy to see her.
Yeah, she was great. And so that's the episode. Thanks for listening, guys. Please tune in next time. But until then, nerds out.
I love it here.
Okay.